Hello and welcome to the Numinous Weekly Tarot Forecast. I'm Mademoiselle Danielle and I am your tarot reader in residence for the month of September. And so this week for September 6th through September 13th, I pulled the Nine of Swords. And so when I first pulled this card, I was kind of like, oh no, like when you look at it, it's kind of, not the most positive image on the surface. It's like this, the figure is kind of curling into herself or their self, and there are these, swords that are sort of coming towards her. But the fact that I had that reaction, I was like, no, this is what it is. And just because things are not, or just because I'm pulling a card that is not necessarily like light and fun and flirty, doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. And I really do think that what this card is pointing to is an opportunity to face our shadows and to clear away any dread and worry and anxieties that we're feeling, to really step up and face our destructive tendencies, be willing to look at those aspects of ourselves that we might want to reject. I've been thinking lately about shadows in general and how, just in the most literal sense, shadows show you where the light is coming from. If your shadow's in front of you, the sun is behind you, etc. And thinking about that in a more metaphorical sense of just like, if we pay attention to our shadows and the aspects of ourselves that we might not like that much, or that other people might not like that much, it can also show us where our own light resides. Like, we can begin to look at it with a little bit more compassion and a little bit more love. And even if you can't look at it with love or compassion, being able to just look at it without judgment, just being able to say, oh wow, I have this tendency to, I don't know, give people the silent treatment when I'm upset. Like, what is that? Where is that coming from? And like, can I hold space for that? Can I try to understand where the root of it is, rather than becoming frustrated, which doesn't really help us solve, these issues or the way that we might react. But if anything, I think kind of inflames them, especially when we try to kind of deny it. So I think being able to face our shadows and being able to really get underneath the despair and the anxiety or the dread that we might be feeling, to see like, where is it coming from, and also like, where can I find light in this situation? How can I turn this around? Because I do believe that everything that we possess within us, whether it's a tendency to get really angry and yell when we're upset, or to maybe be backstabbing, or maybe be gossiping, like, they're all qualities that we can integrate and use to our advantage. But we can't do that if we're in denial of them, or if we are resisting them. We really have to try and find the root, and that's how we heal, and that's how we move forward in a healthier way. So even though, like I said, it might look a little scary, it's also a time, like, you can kind of see like how the figure is sort of curled in, like, curl into yourself, give yourself a big hug, and like, embrace these aspects of yourself that you might have a tendency to deny or want to distance yourself from, because there's a lot of information to be found there, and that's what's ultimately going to help us move forward. So wishing you the best of luck this week, and I will see you next week for the next tarot forecast. So take care. Bye-bye.